Well, hello, it's me again, but notice I'm wearing regular clothes and not my running clothes. I'm walking between two different places, and I figured now's as good a time as any to give a little situational update, news from Ramat Beit Shemesh, and yeah, Baruch Hashem, the ground offensive has begun. And soldiers have gone into Gaza. I'm not going to be your source of news for things over here, but from what I can see, they're taking it carefully, slowly, and not trying to get it done with too quickly, because that's where you run into trouble. They seem to be taking it with a lot of caution, which I think, for me being a civilian over here, I like the way they're doing it. Not that my opinion matters, because there are people much smarter than me who are conducting our public affairs. I just want to say, for those of you who may be bothered by the scenes coming out of Gaza, and don't worry, we're all bothered by them. It's not fun for anybody to see civilians getting caught in the crossfire, but this is a time when you have to strengthen yourself and not sign on to any appeals for any ceasefires, because the last time we had a ceasefire, it was broken on October 7th by the most horrible pogrom since the Holocaust. Ceasefires are a victory to the enemy, and I'm afraid there's no other way out of it other than destroying Hamas utterly. And unfortunately, their methodology involves human shields. It involves building their headquarters under a hospital. It's not going to be pretty, and I ask you to bear with us and give whatever support you can to Israel to continue their offensive, because the only way we're going to get out of this is by going the whole way and finishing them off. And as far as personal news, my kids are back in school. Life is almost back to normal. We haven't had any rocket alerts in a long time, not since our last, well, actually there was one since our last update, but it seems like the army's work in Gaza has cut back on the number of rocket attacks that we're suffering, and from our side, thank God, it's I wouldn't say it's exactly life as normal, because we're all very concerned and praying a lot, and for the well-being of our troops. These are all of our children. These are all of our children who are going in there. Children, husbands, and whatever from this neighborhood. Walk past any given house over here, they've got people in the army out there who are looking after us, and salute them, and we should all just send out our prayers to keep them safe. I think the most important thing that I wanted to mention today was a bit of a something that inspired me yesterday. I know my Rav Haber has spoken in the past about what happens when there's a terrible destruction, and it was in the context of Parashas Noach, when after the great flood, and Noah came out of his ark, and the first meaningful act that he does when he comes out of the ark is to plant a vineyard and grow grapes, squeeze the grapes, turn them into wine, and get himself drunk as a skunk and completely debase himself. And you can, without getting into the psychology that went into that, and you can really understand that he's come into a post-apocalyptic world and things are looking pretty bad. So it's difficult to blame a guy for feeling a bit down, especially with the knowledge that he had the power to save the world and he didn't do enough. Okay, so let's not get too much into into Noach's motivations for getting drunk, or his psychology. But what's an interesting midrash is that they say that the act of planting the vineyard, of the fruit sprouting, the vine sprouting, growing fruit, ripening, squeezing grapes and fermenting them and turning them into wine, all happened in one day. Okay, so a midrash is a midrash, and they're not meant to be taken literally, but they are meant to be taken directionally. And what it's saying is that when there is a terrible destruction in the world, when something awful like a massive flood happens, then immediately afterwards, God puts a power of bracha, of growth, I don't know the word for bracha. It's just the power of growth into the world. It gets injected in. Noach had the power to perform a rebuilding act, to do something that would transform the world, that he could reinvest in it and build the world anew. And instead, he directed his energies to planting a vineyard and drowning his sorrows. It was a terrible waste of his energy. But if you take a look at other things in history, most notably the Holocaust, after the Holocaust, immediately after that terrible destruction of European Jewry, immediately what happened thereafter was the founding of the State of Israel. There was a massively powerful energy of building, of beginning, and the early founders of the state used that power, knowingly or unknowingly. They used it, and they started out a brand new state. And it almost defies logic how they managed to win the War of Independence, how they managed to grow a country from the beginning, from scratch, and bring it to where it is today, 75 years later. It's unbelievable. It's just one has to take a step back and just appreciate with awe what the early founders of Israel managed to do with that energy that came out of the ashes of the Holocaust. Something new came out, and there's similar examples in history of. I don't know if it compares as well, but like the expulsion from Spain was immediately followed by the founding of America, which became such a haven for Jewish people. But I'm not sure if that's 100% analogous. I'll leave you to debate that. But the point that I want to make over here, and this is honestly a call to action, is that what happened on October 7th was a little mini Holocaust. It was the most horrifying, destructive pogrom that we have experienced since the Holocaust, and it's just. I hope you haven't seen all of the footage, because I certainly haven't, and I don't want to. Just knowing that it happened is enough to traumatize me and like make me wish that I actually didn't know about it. But I wish to suggest that the power that comes out of this, there's going to be a power of bracha in the world now after this. And you can see it already manifesting in the amount of chesed, of goodness and kindness that's being done in the Jewish world. I mean, from people who, just weeks before were at each other's throats about judicial reform and whatever else people were going on about, and suddenly, on a dime, you needed an October 7th, and suddenly everyone's on the same side. Everyone's working together. Everyone's pulling together, and we've basically forgotten all of the stuff that was happening before. That kind of achdut is first of all, it's a huge blessing to Israel that we can turn around and suddenly realize that yes, we're all on the same side. And it's unfortunate that we needed a distraction like this in order to learn this about ourselves and about our nation. But it shouldn't stop there. It shouldn't stop there. There's this power of bracha in the air right now. And every single person almost has a duty to latch onto that and build something positive. The energy is out there, and wherever you put it, it's going to have bracha. Right now, this is the time to be building stuff. if you decide that you're going to take that energy and turn it into something meaningless, that'll also have bracha. And that's like if someone is, God forbid, going to be a Noach and go and plant a vineyard and get themselves drunk as a skunk and perfect the way to drown their sorrows and lapse into depression, there'll be a bracha that will enhance that and grow that depression and do whatever you choose to do. Everything is amplified right now. It's our duty to take that power and amplify something for the good. Take your energies right now and put them into something good, because again, I keep saying it, but I have to emphasize it. There is a power of bracha in the air right now. Take it, use it well, and it should be a bracha to all of Am Yisrael. So I want to wish everyone Besorah Tovot, good news. We should only hear good news, and notwithstanding what I said about the war being prosecuted slowly and carefully, we all want it to be over soon, and with a success and a resounding victory, and bring out all of our soldiers and the hostages home safely. Should have bracha to you and to all your families and to all of Klal Yisrael. Amen.